The chilling world of Stephen King's It has returned, and this time, it's more haunting and thought-provoking than ever. HBO's It, Welcome to Derry, which premiered on October 26th, reimagines the horrifying origins of Derry's most infamous monster through a bold and unsettling new lens. Acting as a prequel to the hit It and It Chapter 2 films, the series delves deep into the psychological and cultural fears that shaped the era and the creature that would come to define generational nightmares. The premiere episode didn't waste any time setting its tone. In a shocking twist that left fans both horrified and fascinated, the young group of protagonists, seemingly destined to become the new Losers Club, met a gruesome fate at the hands of a horrifying new manifestation of evil, Pennywise's demonic baby form. The grotesque and surreal sequence caught audiences completely off guard, upending expectations and signaling that Welcome to Derry isn't afraid to take creative risks. According to co-showrunner Andy Muschietti, who also directed both It films, the idea of introducing a demon baby version of Pennywise was entirely intentional, a narrative and thematic device meant to reflect the deep societal anxieties of the early 1960s. Speaking to Entertainment Weekly, Muschietti explained that the second season of the series is set in 1962, a year overshadowed by the lingering trauma of World War II, the heightening tension of the Cold War, and the looming Cuban Missile Crisis. The horrors of history reflected through fiction. Muschietti revealed that the concept of the demon baby was inspired by widespread cultural fears of the time, particularly those surrounding nuclear fallout, genetic mutations, and the fragility of human life. There was a lot of panic during that era, Muschietti noted. People were terrified of what the world was becoming, of radiation, of the unknown, of how even birth could produce monsters if humanity kept pushing its luck. By translating those fears into the show's supernatural framework, Welcome to Derry transforms its horror into a metaphor for collective trauma. The murderous infant Pennywise becomes more than a monster. It's a symbol of corrupted innocence and the anxiety of progress gone wrong. The idea of a demonic child emerging in an age obsessed with both scientific advancement and existential dread gives the show a haunting allegorical edge that resonates far beyond its jump scares. This creative decision also pays homage to King's original intent. Throughout it, the novel explored how evil feeds off human fear and societal decay, adapting to whatever terrors define a generation. Muschietti's interpretation of Pennywise as a mutated infant is a chilling extension of that theme, an embodiment of the atomic age's deepest nightmares, expanding the mythos of Pennywise. Returning to the role that made him a modern horror icon, Bill Skarsgård once again portrays Pennywise with a disturbing magnetism. Yet Welcome to Derry doesn't just rely on his familiar menace. It seeks to deconstruct the mythology surrounding the entity. By venturing into the 1950s and 1960s, the series explores how fear evolves within a community and how Pennywise manipulates that fear through new forms and faces. As a prequel, the series gives itself the creative freedom to expand Stephen King's world in directions that were only hinted at before. It examines not only the creature's origins, but also the societal and psychological roots of evil in Derry. How ordinary people, shaped by paranoia and prejudice, can unknowingly feed the darkness that lurks beneath their town. The period setting also serves as fertile ground for allegorical storytelling. In an age defined by nuclear anxiety, political tension, and rapid social change, Welcome to Derry mirrors real historical fears through a horror lens. Much like The Twilight Zone and other genre-defining works of that era. A new kind of fear for a new generation. While some fans were initially stunned, and even disturbed, by the brutal direction of the first episode, many critics have praised Muschietti's boldness. Rather than simply rehashing familiar scares, Welcome to Derry challenges its audience to confront the horror of the past and the ways fear mutates across time. The series also demonstrates how television, as a long-form medium, allows for deeper thematic exploration than the films ever could. With multiple episodes to build its narrative, Welcome to Derry can weave complex emotional and historical layers into its story, connecting Pennywise's monstrosity to humanity's own cycles of violence and denial. For Muschietti, that's the ultimate goal. Horror is always a reflection of the time it's made, he explained. In the 1960s, fear wasn't just about ghosts or monsters. It was about survival, mutation, and the unknown future. We wanted to capture that in a way that still feels relevant today. If the series continues along this trajectory, Welcome to Derry may not only enrich Stephen King's universe, but also establish itself as one of the most ambitious horror prequels ever made. A terrifying yet thoughtful exploration of how evil evolves, generation after generation.